Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Now moving on to topic 3, here we will look at Indian monsoon and its characteristics. We already know what monsoon is, right? It is basically wind. It comes from the word mausam, right? So monsoon is basically wind which blows from one place to another, and as it blows it brings moisture and then causes rainfall. Now monsoon, the term was coined in 16th century, okay, and during the period of 16th century, there were many sailors, many merchants trying to navigate across the Indian Ocean. Lots of ships were coming across the Indian Ocean to trade in India, southeast of Asia and other countries, okay. And for them, monsoonal wind was very important for the sailing of their ships. Without the monsoonal winds, their ships could not be sailed in the direction they wanted the ships to be sailed. Okay, and while they were figuring that out, they understood the monsoon, okay, the flow of the wind, the direction of the flow of the wind, which they called monsoon, and as a result, they coined the term monsoon in the 16th century. In the month of June, what happens? Low pressure area develops over northern plains. So in the northern plains, which is right below the foot of the Himalayas, in that large stretch of plain fertile area, low pressure builds during the month of June. And during that time, the ocean is cooler, right? And high pressure area develops over it, okay? When the ocean or the water in the ocean and the sea is cooler, high pressure develops in such areas over the ocean, over the sea. And we know wind blows from high pressure to the low pressure area. We already know the northern plains are developing low pressure and the ocean is developing high pressure. Okay, so the wind will of course blow from high pressure area to the low pressure area of the northern plains. Okay, now as the wind blows from the ocean where the pressure is high towards the northern plains where the pressure is low, that wind brings moisture with it. That wind is moisture laden. That wind is full of moisture. Okay, and as it moves towards the northern plains where the pressure is low, it causes heavy rainfall in that area. Okay, so this is how the monsoon wind works. It moves from high pressure to low pressure area carrying moisture, and as it flows to the plains from the ocean area, it causes rainfall. Okay, almost 80% of the total rainfall in India is supplied by these monsoon winds. These winds which are blowing from the ocean towards the plains. So these monsoon winds, as they reach the coastal regions of India, they get divided into two branches. Okay, we know that they are developing in the ocean area and then they move towards the mainland of India. First, as they move, they reach the coastal regions. When they reach the coastal regions, then it divides itself into two branches. One goes towards the Arabian Sea, the other flows towards the Bay of Bengal. So you can see they go like this, okay? And because of this, in the last week of May, Andaman and Nicobar Islands receives its rainfall because of the moisture-laden wind blowing towards it. Okay, so first the wind hits Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the monsoon is experienced, that is rainfall. And Kerala experiences monsoon in the beginning of June. So in May, it reaches Andaman and Nicobar. In June, Kerala. By the 10th of June, Mumbai is hit by the monsoon winds and rainfall is experienced by Mumbai. And Delhi experiences the same by the end of June. Okay, so you can see as the wind moves, okay, as the wind blows to the two directions, one towards the Bay of Bengal and one towards the Arabian Sea, they are hit by monsoon winds and accordingly they receive rainfall. And they do not receive rainfall all at the same time. The timing is different according to when the wind hit that place. Okay. So by the beginning of July, the entire country receives rainfall. Okay. The entire country experiences monsoon. Now, if you look at the whole of the country and you see which region receives more rainfall than the other or how the rainfall is distributed, then we see that South India receives more rain than the northern part of India. Okay. Now, this wind, we know that monsoon is basically the wind and they're always flowing. They do not remain stuck. Right? They do not remain stagnant or at same place. They keep moving. Now this monsoon wind which carries moisture and then causes rainfall in certain areas of our country, they retreat back, meaning they go back. They go round the circle and again they return. Okay? So this withdrawal of monsoon starts from the last week of August. That is when we finish or we stop having rainfall, right, from the last week of August. And we say that is the end of the rainy season or the monsoon season. It's because that is the time that the monsoon begins to withdraw, begins to retreat. Okay. And by the month of October, it finally withdraws or retreats from the entire country, which means by October there is no rainfall. Okay, the rainfall has finally come to an end. So this is how the monsoon in India occurs, and these are some of the main characteristics of monsoon that we experience in India.